Hey guys, so I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the big decision that I had to make back in 2013. I went to Manchester Central High School and I actually made the decision my sophomore year that I was going to graduate a year early. So I graduated with the class of 2014 when I was really supposed to graduate with the class of 2015. There was plenty of reasons why I decided to graduate early. I just didn't like high school. It wasn't my thing. I found that I didn't really get along with a lot of my classmates. And the ones that I did get along with were actually a year older than me, and they were the class that I ended up graduating with. That wasn't really the only reason why I wanted to graduate early, though. I also graduated early because of my passion for horses. I was always wanting to spend time at the barn, and I did have a very vigorous show schedule as far as going to shows with my horses. A lot of them were out of state, which did require me to miss a lot of school, which would lead for me to be getting in trouble because I was only allowed to miss a certain amount of days. Um, so then I did make the decision my sophomore year to graduate early. That idea had to be presented, of course, to my assistant principal, which then had to be run by the principal. Everything went smoothly. In high school, I was a pretty good student. I got good grades, always showed up on time, didn't really miss any days unless I was really sick or if it was for a horse show. So I got the okay to go ahead and graduate early. So basically, what I did is I skipped my whole junior year. I went through my freshman and sophomore year, and then from a sophomore, I went right to a senior. The first semester of my third year in high school, I was still considered a junior, but I was taking senior classes. So I did end up graduating with the class of 2014. My plan after I graduated was to go off to college, and that I did. I went to Plymouth State University. I was planning on staying at Plymouth State for 4 years, but things actually didn't work out the way that they were planned. And I did learn through this whole entire process that sometimes it's okay if things don't work out as planned, and I'm actually much happier now. And I'm glad that things didn't work out the way as planned. I wanted to go to Plymouth State and get my bachelor's degree in business management. I got to Plymouth my first semester. I absolutely hated my roommate. I didn't enjoy the whole aspect of dorming. Me and my roommate didn't get along at all. She was a very outgoing party person, and I'm very outgoing, but she would stay up really late, not do her homework, and it was distracting to me. So at the second semester of my freshman year at Plymouth State University, I put in an application to move off campus. I fought and fought and fought with the housing committee, I guess you would call them, at Plymouth, because freshman students weren't technically allowed to live off campus because they aren't old enough. After my dad had put in a couple of complaints, I was finally granted the ability to move off campus, so I did that. I moved to a little town maybe 15 minutes north of Plymouth, New Hampshire, called Campton, New Hampshire. I lived there for half a semester in my own apartment by myself. I was able to actually get schoolwork done and concentrate, and I did much better in my classes and got a lot better grades the second semester. Though I didn't like living alone all the way up north, about an hour and a half away from where I grew up in Manchester. So I made the decision to pull out of Plymouth State altogether and come home and move in with my parents again. From there, I decided to come to NHTI. My first semester of, or my first year, no, my first semester at NHTI, I was completely on campus in my classes. I really didn't like that because I found myself not being able to even get to the barn because of how much work I had, and I didn't really ever get to see my horse. Because of that, I took that as a learning experience, and my second semester, of my first year at NHTI, I moved to completely online classes, which I found was much more enjoyable. I was able to do schoolwork at night whenever I wanted and still be able to see my horse and make it to all my lessons, and I was still able to show and everything, which was a luxury because I really didn't get to do much that involved my passion my freshman year at Plymouth State University. So basically, I did that, and now I can plan on continuing this next year at NHTI completely online, so I'm able to continue showing my horse and doing my passion at the same time as still getting an education. And after this, I do plan on moving to Southern New Hampshire University for my bachelor's degree, continuing online. So basically, to summarize everything, I just wanted to explain how it's not always necessarily a bad thing that things don't work out the way as planned. Because they didn't work out the way as planned, I was actually able to re-find myself enjoying my passion, and I'm glad I did, because if I hadn't, then I think I wouldn't be into horses anymore, and that's definitely not something that I want to do. I can see myself having horses for the rest of my life, and hopefully becoming well known in the horse world and maybe famous one day. So I definitely think that no matter what you are interested in or what you love, I think that you should pursue it, and if things don't work out as planned, you should just keep trying. And if they don't, then it's not always a bad thing.